Welcome back to another episode of On the Course With, and today we're joined by Hollywood actor, a writer and producer, the Northern Irish living legend, Jamie Dornan. That sounded great. Some hang time on that.
Just caught up in the...
Yeah, no, it was a good ball. Right.
Yeah, lovely.
Whoa, bottom
Right.
groove, that will chase on these fairways.
Right down the
I'll
middle.
take
Yeah,
that.
lovely shot.
Right. Well, Jamie, we've got a beautiful day for it.
We do.
Day to day, what does it look like for you? You're picking up the kids later today?
I am picking up the kids, yeah. They're off school at the moment, so our youngest is spending the day with Granny. I'm going to pick her up after this. Yeah, look, if I'm not filming, then I want to be doing all the drop-offs and pick up at school. I love that. Actually, my favourite part of this is picking up the kids from school. If they come out and they're smiling and you know they've had a good day, then it just makes our lives so much easier. And then I'll try to... I've got a nice situation where I can drop the kids off, go and play 18 holes, have a bit of lunch, and pick the kids up. It doesn't suit my wife up that well, but at least, I'm getting to, be with the kids when I can.
Absolutely. But how did it all begin for you? Because I think you were about 10 years old when you kind of experienced performing in front of a live audience and really kind of engaged with the thrill of that. But modelling was your first gig, wasn't it, before everything?
That was not on the cards or wasn't something I planned to do. I still sort of can't believe that I did do that, if you know what I mean, or that happened, or I had a career in that space and still do to an extent with some of the stuff I still do. But I don't know, life works in weird ways. You fall into these things, and certainly wasn't on my radar as a kid to want to have my picture taken for a living, or to be an actor even, to be honest. As a kid, I'd done drama at school, I'd done a bit of youth theatre outside of school, but I wasn't like the theatre kid, by any stretch. Found my way into it in some way or another, and it's been good to me, and I love it now.
How does that work? Do you just look in the mirror and go, I look great, I should be a model? Or I'm just
Jesus
a really
Christ,
good liar, so I'm going to be an actor?
No, well, maybe.
How do you get into all of it?
I think you have to be convinced by other people.
Right.
Well, certainly I did. I'm
Calvin Klein billboard.
but even now, I think I can't believe I did any of that and did so much of it as well for such a long time. Again, I feel kind of removed from that in so many ways now. I don't know. Yeah, it takes other people saying that's what you should do, or you could do that, and then you go, all right, maybe. Rather than having a more traditional kind of life, which I thought I was more set up for. I thought I'd have a normal job and whatever, just follow everyone else. But then there's other plans. I don't know. That's
so interesting, because a lot of things people do and spend time doing is they talk about the importance of self-belief.
Yes.
So it's interesting how yours kind of happened the other way around first.
I'd say a lot of actors don't have a great deal of self-belief. No. And that's why they need validation a lot of the time. They need people telling them that their work is good and stuff, and they seek all that attention. And because I think you're riddled with self-doubt, a lot of actors, and that's why you spend your life pretending to be other people.
That's really interesting. I want to tap into that a bit more, but your ball's there.
Yes,
and I'm about 20 yards ahead of you, so I'm just going to go this way.
I think you hit a
few sprinkler heads along the way?
Something really hard there, yeah. Don't know what
and
happened.
You just land a marshmallow. Got it.
Yeah, mine was a forward, just a reminder of that.
I bottomed my driver. We've got 125.
Oh, okay.
I reckon it's playing about 119, to be honest.
I was going to say, yeah.
So I quite liked how you eyed that.
Yeah, you like it?
I think we're getting a bit of release. It's spring. It's officially spring.
Yeah, no, sure, we can land it a wee bit early.
Yeah. So what sort of club is that for you then?
That's it. I've got a 50.
Okay. That looks like quite a jumpy lie as well, so it's got your name written all over it.
I don't know. You've now got me doubting it should be a 54, but...
You're not an actor right now, you're a golfer.
No, that's
We have self-belief here.
That's it.
Beautiful strike. That was seriously good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great shot.
Thanks.
Great shot.
Thank you.
So how does that work then? So you tap into an industry, generically not an awful lot of self-belief.
Yeah.
How do you find your identity in that career path when your job is literally to play different characters?
I think you I think once you do it and it starts going quite well, and you get kind of the right kind of signals back or the right energy back, you probably do garner some kind of self-belief. But I'm still riddled with doubt. Like I'm about to start a job, and I will have taken, purposely, because I'm in a lucky position and I want to spend time with my kids, and I can sort of pick and choose what I do. But I will have had 7 months off, and because I haven't sort of acted haven't done my job for 7 months. I'm terrified of this job, even though I'm a lead in it, I'm a producer on it, and all this great stuff. But I'm riddled with anxiety about. But I know then I'll get on set and I'll be fine because it's my job and I'll be fine. But until I'm actually on set in costume, hair, makeup, and I'm in it, I will be doubting myself.
I think that's really important, because even the best athletes or actors, entertainers in the world, I can relate from a golfer's perspective. They always say standing on that first tee shot, they're nervous.
Sure.
But they have to be. It just shows that they care, right?
Sure, Rory admitted he was nervous for the players' playoff coming back on the Monday. He was really nervous, and then absolutely bombed it down. Was it 16? They did 16,
so
17, 18.
You and McElroy, you're just same people, yeah?
Well, we're from the same town, so
exactly.
That's where it ends. So.
Right, I have got 102 yards.
Strike.
You make a great caddy, Jamie.
Look at that.
I think that's good.
Sit now. Perfect. Great shot.
Come on.
Really good shot.
Thank you.
Love it.
So, golf and life, I've always personally felt as though they marry up very well. Comparison perspective, obviously golf does play a relatively significant part in your life. Have you been able to kind of associate or compare or learn from whether it's your golf and life or maybe your career, where you can really embrace those kind of similarities?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, golf is such a great leveler, as a game, and it's obviously such a humbling sport, and it's a great, there's a lot of great parallels to not even career, but life generally, just literally, the cliches, but the ups and downs of it. And, you can think that everything's going really well. You get 3 holes in a row where you feel like a pro and you're just bombing it down, and then you leak one right, and then you lose sense of your swing and you don't have confidence, you don't swing properly. And life's a bit like that too, I guess if you're comparing it to career-wise, you can have a couple of movies or TV shows in a row that like pop and get people talking and get really well reviewed. You get nominated for this, nominated for all that stuff. And then you have something that comes out that people don't like, it gets reviewed badly, doesn't make a lot of money, whatever it is, and you're knocked straight back off your perch again, But again, I think that's healthy, and I wouldn't want it any other way. And I think you learn much more from that sort of inconsistency of sort of success or failure or whatever than you would from just constant failure or constant success. And
what is that like? Because a golfer, for instance, they can put so many hours and time into perfecting their skill, and on a big stage, once you have that level of expectancy and you don't meet those demands almost, it can be quite soul destroying. But musicians talk about, they work on an album for a year sort of thing, and then they're worried about how they're gonna, their audience and fans are gonna take it. How does that work from an acting perspective?
I don't know. I just think if you just consider it, you almost, it's like they say about golf as well, you take one hole at a time, one tournament at a time, whatever, but you do just go, if you're lucky enough to keep getting opportunities to prove yourself or whatever, or to make something that seems meaningful or worthy or whatever, then you do that. You just focus on that, and if it's received, like often for me, it's about the experience. I want the experience to be great. I want to work with these like really talented, creative, cool, interesting people, and the day to day, they're long days. We get up and we spend all this really intense time together, often in location in these mad places in the middle of nowhere, or stuck in a studio together, and it's all too hot and everyone's drinking 15 cups of tea a day, but there's something that happens there. It's a really beautiful, very quick, sped up bond that with these people, and for me it's about that. And you're all there and you're working as hard as you can to produce the best version of what it is you're trying to do, and whatever comes after that, it's out of your hands. Some great films go by the wayside and no one talks about them, and some great performances, I'm not talking about me here, just generally, that don't get talked about, and then you'll get something that's for some reason gets a load of hype behind it, and sometimes rightly, But sometimes, you know, the wrong stuff gets hyped, you know, and for the wrong reasons. So you've just got to enjoy the actual process of making it, and then whatever happens after, if it's positive, it's a bonus, you know.
For sure. And you've worked with some amazing people, but we'll get onto that
It's like
because
you're
we've got a
slightly
few
closer
birdie putts coming up.
Okay.
That's got great speed. Come on.
Oh!
Come on! What a start! Boom! Oh, no. Oh, it's terrible. Thanks. Thanks. Now that's an entrance and a half.